Welcome to part 13 of the Ape Escape playthrough. It's your boy, Mr. Awesome Sean, and here we're going to the future city, which is inhabited by Tomoki, and we're also getting a new morph, one of my favorite morphs in the game, which is the Cyber Ace. The Cyber Ace is such a good transformation, and you're about to find out why. Well, she calls it the Thunder Ace, but it's really just the Cyber Ace. You get an electromagnetic pulse attack and a mid-air dash, which you combine those two give you pretty much unlimited flight. Slow moving flight, but unlimited flight nonetheless. And it is so cool. It is so good. Look at that. And the music of the transformation is pretty good too. I enjoy it. But yeah, you get like futuristic powers because you're gonna need it for the boss, and the boss is so annoying. You're gonna see why. But yeah, you're gonna need it definitely for the boss and for the stage that's coming up, which is one of the biggest stages, almost one of the biggest stages in the game. I want to say it's at least about the second biggest game in the stage because a boss inhabited it. One of the main bosses of the game, actually. Since we're not dealing with the Freaky Monkey 5 anymore, we're taking on Tomoki himself. If you remember, Tomoki is the guy with the yellow afro. So we're going to be tackling his stage along with this transformation, folks. And anyway, folks, how are you doing? I am doing okay. A little excited about this transformation, and you'll see how I put it to use within the stage itself when we eventually get through it. Now, this is going to be the last training as far as like useful transformations, because as you can see, we have one transformation slot left, and I'll let you know what that is when we eventually get to it. In my opinion, it's not all that useful. I'll explain why when we eventually get to it. And it's used to, basically that transformation is used to gather up the remaining monkeys that's going to be left over after we, get through all the necessary bosses and whatnot. So, usually like, you beat Ape Escape game, this is how the Ape Escape formula goes. You beat Ape Escape once, usually you fail to capture Spectre, and if you do capture him, he somehow gets loose. So, you go around and go ahead and catch the remaining monkeys that you weren't able to catch before. That's why they set a limit for the first time you go through. You pretty much beat the game once, then you go through and catch the remaining and beat the game again. And when you beat the game again, that's it. That's the final time you beat it. I guess it's to increase the level of replayability. Geez, couldn't say that right. But yeah, that's usually how it works, how the Ape Escape formula works. Hopefully, whenever there's an Ape Escape 4, if there's going to be an Ape Escape 4, hopefully that playability or replayability is different. But look at that, if you get in front of a crowd of enemies, you could just send like a electric pulse and they all go bye-bye. I rarely use this move myself, folks. I'm usually just going for the little thrust shot that he has. But anyway, I'm going to collect many coins as I can, and off to Tomoki City. We gotta capture, quote-unquote capture, Spectre. Yeah, let's get this over with. But anyway, we have a little cutscene here. Yeah, we're in the future city, futuristic city, should I say. But Spectre is deep within this area within Tomoki Tower, and so they say. Yeah, that guy right there. Yeah, so basically, yeah, the boss is just consists of as I stated before. But yeah, the Tomoki battle is, I don't like the Tomoki battle at all, folks. When we get to it, I'll go into a little more detail if I don't already. But yeah, welcome to, if you're not a fan of bottomless pits and whatnot, you're gonna hate Tomoki City. But good, thank goodness you have the Cyber Ace transformation. So that's pretty much gonna eliminate the threat for bottomless pits and whatnot. I almost lost my train of thought. Look how fast that I was able to take care of one of the monkeys that be in the spacecraft. Just about 3-4 shots did it in. This form is powerful, folks, and I could get out of the way of those missiles that come towards us. So these things are no longer really a problem anymore because of how powerful this transformation is. Now, is it the most powerful transformation? I don't know. That's up for you to decide. But to me, it is. I mean, you basically got unlimited flight, and you have shooting pulse beams from your hand. So it's kind of like this is Iron Man's lesser form, if you want to put it in that sort of terms. But it is, all in all, it is a pretty useful transformation. Anyway, get used to seeing that Spectre icon show up at the bottom right side of the screen. Yeah, that's gonna be there a lot. Basically what you want to do is, this kind of applies for, like the last two Ape Escape games. Even though it doesn't display the number of monkeys at the bottom, you still want to capture as many as you can, because of course, like the last two games, you're going to be coming back here, and you want to make sure you have many of them under your belt as you can, because that's going to lessen the trip that you're going to have to take spending capturing them. So make sure you do that, and then your second time around will be just as easy as your first time around, if that makes any sense. But yeah, that's always been kind of a kind of a tradition of, I almost messed up there, but that's always been kind of a tradition of Ape Escape. They want you to, even though they don't plain out say it, they want you to pretty much capture as many as you can before you eventually face said boss of when you're done with this area. But yes, as you can state, you can only twirl around in the air about twice. Basically, you can stay in the air like that as long as you continue shooting, but as long as you could continue shooting, and as long as you have time to stay in your transformation state. So if you still shooting and don't take care of the time, that has happened to me plenty of times, you will fall off, so be careful of that. And it's actually quite embarrassing when it actually happens, when you fall off and whatnot. But that's the learning process, and it kind of sucks in video games where you do trial and error. Take Super Meat Boy for example. I know that game is full of trial and error. Even though I never personally played the game myself, I've seen people play it. Also, like to bring more of focus into that, I Want to Be the Guy. It's also full of like trial and error. Those are games that I personally probably will never play. I'll probably look at them just for the sake of looking at them. But as far as like personally play them, no, I won't do that. Because of my patience and the repetitiveness of the games. I'm not saying they're bad or anything. It's just me and my patience aren't in sync as far as like me wanting to complete a game such as those. For example, I'm having a really tough time as far as like playing Terraria, even though that game is spooky in a way, quote unquote. Never played Terraria before. The only reason I'm playing Terraria is because my buddy D, he has Terraria, and he wants me to join him on his adventures sometime. So me being a good friend that I am, really against my will, play Terraria with him. So, as long as he's having fun, that's what matters. I mean, I have fun too, but to an extent. Because Terraria and stuff like that aren't really my type of games as far as like sandbox go. But you know what? I play them to play them. Sometimes you do stuff for your friends, even though you might not enjoy it, but you still do stuff to them as long as they're having fun. Then you can have fun as well. But Terraria is really not my cup of tea. I wanted to stream Terraria when we first started, but he was against the idea of doing that. Kind of don't know why he was, but I was gonna do it anyway. But I was like, nah, this experience best kind of off camera or whatnot. So I just decided against my better judgments to go pretty much not streaming. And how did I do that? That was awesome. The animation must have just ended as that happened, and I hate that section right there because those things go down way too quick. They really do. They go down way too fast. But anyway, yeah, the Tomoki Tower, or Tomoki City as they call it, yeah, it's really long, full of platforming and puzzles that you have to figure out for yourself. It's not really that bad of a place. It's just like I stated before, it's a person who's afraid of bottomless pit's worst nightmare. It's kind of like that. Second longest stage in my opinion. The first longest stage we'll get to eventually, probably in the next part or so. You'll be able to see what that is. It's pretty much the main base of Spectre where you have to go into, because it's broken off into, oh, that was awesome, that flying kick, because it's broken off into like multiple mini sections, so that part is gonna be broken down for sure because of the time constraints and all that stuff of it. It's kind of a pain to edit, but you know, that's kind of half the fun of commentating, you know, a post commentary. Sheesh. But anyway, just to go off a tangent, I always heard the brain scratch. This is just a random tangent. Harping on Ryan's Sonic 3 playthrough, and I was wondering why that they was harping on his playthrough, because how they was talking about he played horribly on Sonic 3. Never really got the reference until this weekend, at the time of this recording, that I've seen his Sonic 3 playthrough. So I kind of got the gist of what they were talking about. To be honest, he played better than what I would have, because number one, I don't play Sonic 3. Sonic 2 will always be my favorite for just a casual playthrough. The number of times I played Sonic 3, I can count on one hand, and that's the truth. I don't know why. I mean, it's considered the best in the series for most, people. Most of the people who played the classic Sonic games say that it's the best, but to me, no, because I haven't played it enough. So, I can't say that it's the best in my opinion. To me, 2 will always be the best. Because I played it and completed it. Some people say Sonic 1 is the hardest. No, it's not actually. The first Sonic is just a breeze to play through, in my opinion at least. But I don't know why I'm talking about Sonic the Hedgehog when we got Ape Escape 3 on the screen. It's just one of those mini tangents that we have to go off of because the stage is ridiculously long. And as you can tell by that obvious jump cut, I felt this section right here plenty of times because these things fall off. These blue things with the coin trailing, those fall off, and I was being careless in not watching my step. And I was also feeling this part a lot too because I forgot that the Miracle Ninja can run on walls. And I was trying to do this part completely wrong. So what I was trying to do is I was trying to get over with the Sky Flyer and was failing as far as that part. But man, you are persistent. But yeah, I was kind of failing when it came to that. You got nowhere to go. Yeah, you had no choice but to accept being captured. But yeah, I was just being really dumb when it came to that part with the Miracle Ninja, and I might as well get out of the transformation and get back into it because there was another wall climbing section, and I guess I just bypassed it, but it might have been the same one from what I was looking at. It was just a different perspective of what it was. But this part right here is pretty cool. You're gonna need the Kung Fu transformation for this part. All you're doing is hitting a switch, but it's still pretty cool to do. But what I want to do is get these annoying enemies with the metal thing out the way, because in the end they can really mess you up in doing whatever you need to do as far as like progressing and whatnot, because you can't hit them normally with the gadgets that you have equipped now. So eventually you have to either transform. Well, that's the only way of really damaging them, just transforming and getting them out of the way, because the Fantasy Knight is a heavy hitter, so the Fantasy Knight's gonna do it regardless. I think any transformation, as I mentioned before, is gonna do the trick. As long as it's not the genie dancer. I don't think Genie Dancer is for any attack. I mean, you could use it to attack, but it's kind of, you know, piss poor when it comes to the other transformations that are available to you. And as I stated before, these guys are really annoying when you need to hit them or whatnot. But anyway, just to go on a bit of another tangent here, that game Cuphead is looking really good. I think I stated this before. I might have stated it in the previous part or whatnot. I really want to do a co-op with the co-host with the most. If only that game was available on PS4. Is it available on PS4? I only think it's a Steam release. But either way, we need to get to a point where we can do some co-op in that game, because that game just looks fantastic, and I'm looking at a lot of YouTube videos on it, and I want to play it just to experience it, how it is. So I think I might sometime this week during the time of this recording, that I might actually get my hands on to playing I was gonna say Jughead, Cuphead. This isn't the Archie comics, but Cuphead. So hopefully I'll be able to get my hands on the spin. Ah, you dickhead. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get my hands on playing that. So hopefully soon, folks. And then you'll be able to definitely, I'm gonna do a playthrough on it eventually. You know, so hopefully it's sometime in this hopefully it's sometime in the future. It's getting late. My words are getting jumbled up. It's getting late here on my side, folks. So I am a bit tired. You might hear it in my voice, but you know what? It's whatever. You know, I just want to make sure that I have a good amount of videos for this week. So you know, whatever happens, happens. And yeah, fall off. Sit in the chair. All you gotta do is go below. If those stupid balls in the way, go below and you'll be able to capture him like that. Bam, it's captured. But yeah, I think my friend D, I think he's interested in Cuphead as well. Also a game I'm interested in. I only saw one video of it so far, and that was from Dashi. You know who Dashi is. He has 4 million subscribers. Congrats to him, by the way. That's quite the accomplishment, man. Kudos to you, man. You definitely deserve it. But yeah, he did a the South Park game, the fracture but whole. Play on words there, but yeah, he did a gameplay on that, and I was just laughing at his whole reaction and how he was reacting to the game. It was just great. Yeah, so definitely a game I want to try out based on you know, from what I've seen from his channel and what he was playing. So yeah, that's definitely something I wouldn't mind in the future. Definitely wouldn't mind it. This part right here tripped me out a couple of times because me being impatient doesn't really work well with this. All I can just tell you to take your time, and as soon as you get up here, just take care of these guys, because when I was up here before, as they just almost demonstrated, is that I got knocked down as soon as I got up there, and it was irritating because these guys infinitely respawn. I mean, it's a great way to farm health and whatnot, but after a while, man, these guys get annoying. So yeah, you want to make sure that you definitely just get up there as fast as you can and annoy these guys. This part right here is just visually, it's fascinating visually to look at. This part right here is where your Cyber Ace transformation really shines, because as I stated before, you can do like the infinite flight with it, as long as you got the time, of course. So yeah, feel free to abuse that here. It's a great way to test it out, so you'll be able to do that here, and I'll be showing that off in just a few. Just want to get my bearings right quick. And you see he already had a monkey shooting at me, and if he would have got his spot, I would have fell off, but thank goodness that his aim missed. So I'm able to pretty much, if I wanted to, I'll be able to snipe him from where I was, but decided to just get him from here, and I'm missing everything but him. But that one shot was able to get him knocked out of his gear that he was in. And yeah, you getting on my nerves. They're doing that, what do they call it? Sentai or something like that? It's like a Power Rangers, Japanese Power Rangers. And I think that's where the Power Rangers come from in the first place. They just take Japanese scenery from the I think that's what it's originated from, because as some of you may know, the original Yellow Ranger was played by a guy, but in the American version it was played by a female. So yeah, I think I was reading up on Wikipedia, because Wikipedia can be wrong sometimes, but according to them, that yeah, that's how it went. So I'm guessing as far as that can be right. I don't know. I can't tell, but it's Wikipedia. People can go on there and change and add some ridiculous stuff to that sometimes. So that's how I go. But obviously, you can tell now that I actually look back into that source. Yeah, you can tell. So I give them credit where credit is due sometimes. But I remember growing up in school, like I think Wikipedia was around, and we couldn't use that as a source, and it kind of sucks that we couldn't do that when it came to writing papers anyway, that we couldn't use that like reports and whatnot, and it kind of sucked. But whatever. I mean, the internet wasn't as big as it is now, so I'm really amazed at how big and popular the internet has gotten since the time I was growing up. But when I was growing up, we had that dial up. We had dial up, and it's the most annoying sound you can ever hear. If you're from the 2000s, born in the 2000s, just look up AOL dial up, and you'll understand why it's annoying as it is. But anyway, this is Dr. Tomoki. He's in cahoots with Spectre. I'm kind of surprised at Spectre that he would have like a human helping him out. Just figuring the fact that he despised humans in the first place. So I was wondering, at first when I first seen this Dr. Tomoki, I actually thought he was like an android or whatnot. But yeah, this he's explaining about the double paradise plan, which is basically a big hand in space that's gonna split the Earth in half, with half belonging to humans and the other half belonging to monkeys. And it's basically destroying the world is what Spectre is wanting to do. In hindsight, that's what it's gonna do, but Spectre's pretty much telling him not to tell those plans to these brats, as he calls them. So anyway, yeah, so we're about to get ready to fight Dr. Tomoki. I hate this battle. I mentioned this before. This battle's gonna suck. And you're about to see why it's gonna suck. Because basically what you're doing is you're piloting that robot. He has a mech of his own, and you're piloting that robot that has kind of like messed up controls, as I mentioned before. So yeah, it's gonna royally suck for me, folks. I do not like this fight at all. Out of all the fights in this game, this fight is the one that I despise the most. All the other fights are a-okay, but you just had to bring in the mech fighting, huh? But I guess it was the only way that he had to use in order to fight us. Although I say using transformations would be just as good. But like I stated before, their aunt is sending them a robot, so they'll be able to do the mech battle with him. So yay, I guess. So yeah, man, I'm not gonna enjoy this. The good thing about this fight, if you want to call it a good thing, is that if your robot gets destroyed, which 9 times out of 10 it is, then you will be able to get a replacement one, because it infinitely respawns as long as you needed to finish the battle up. So yeah, as you can see, all you have to do pretty much to damage him is to ram into him. But that's kind of impossible to do with this thing's control, and him shouting the whole time is kind of annoying, so it doesn't really add any resolve to it. It just makes the fight that less intolerable. And while he's shooting barrage of missiles all over the place, while he's saying each time, yeah, this battle can pretty much get on your nerves pretty quick. So, and that luxury beams of his is kind of like unavoidable. You can't really avoid it. And if you get hit by it like 4 times, then your robot blows up. and you're not able to use it, yeah, you can see why I don't really like this battle as much. That as you can see right there, I got a replacement one, but I say honestly, folks, it's better if you just get out and dish the punishment to him while you're not even like. It's better to dish the punishment in a transformation state than to fight this guy straight up in this mech, unless you're like really good at this mech. I mean, you could get a couple of hits, but I just decided to screw it, see what I can do while I'm in this transformation state. See if I can hit him, and if I have enough power to hit him. Yeah, but the Fantasy Knight is good, but it's just slow as crap. It really is, so hopefully, I'm hoping that I can at least get a hit on him, but it seems like I'm not able to do that. So, while the Wild Kid is great in distances, it's not really going to do great against this guy right here because of the defense and whatnot. But the good thing is the amount of hits that you landed on him kind of stays intact, so the battle doesn't really reset, so you can continue to go from there. So what I should have used, the transformation that I think would have been okay, is the Cyber Ace. That transformation usually could be okay when it as far as like going with this battle and whatnot. But yeah, this battle, this is it. It is boring, repetitive, and just not. It could have been omitted. We could have fought this guy a better way. I mean, yeah, you can jump over the beams, which I'm utilizing now after all this time, which I could have avoided the first time, but it has such a wide range. And if I get hit by this guy one more time, then this machine's gonna blow up. So, yeah. As I stated, this thing could take at least 4 at the most. Yeah. As you can see, I really don't have much to say about this fight, folks. I really don't. I mean, otherwise than its repetitiveness, there's not really much to say. So, yeah, how's your day going today? Mine's going fine. I'm recording pretty late at night, as I mentioned before. So after this part is all edited and finished and whatnot, I'm going to bed. I'm really going to bed. I need me like those I need a nap or something. I'm just going to sleep because I just need it after getting up early this morning and going to take care of the business that I need to take care of. Yeah, I just need it. And he's posing like he was posing there like one of those anime characters for a minute. Like, oh, this game is so anime like, but yeah, that is so weird that his brain's like that, and he looks like a character from what is that show name? He looks familiar, like when he was like that. I can't think of the character's name. Yeah, so basically he became bald due to a freak accident, and yeah, he has that one strain of hair there, but these kids have no choice but to feel bad for this guy. Spectre's laughing his butt off. Cause Spectre's a douchebag, but yeah, Spectre's just like that. Like, Spectre don't care about anybody but himself. So if he's gonna laugh at you, he's definitely gonna laugh at you. I seen a cool artwork of Spectre, which was I think it was his Million Monkeys costume or something like that. It was pretty cool actually, and I stated before, I'll state it again, I want to play that game. If only it was translated. That's what, they got the good stuff, man. If I knew Japanese, I would definitely play that game and translate that to you folks on, but I don't know it, so, yeah, that's going to, yeah, but anyway, yeah, I'm just babbling. I want to apologize for that, but anyway, yeah, what we're gonna do now is he's gonna be able to take us up to where Spectre's hiding at, Spectre's base, in space, because, Spectre's always have his operations up into outer space, which is kind of a reoccurring thing that, I don't know, every time we go to Spectre's, it's usually on the moon, or behind the moon, or near the moon. It's usually a space station somewhere near there. So it's always like that when it comes to fighting specters. So, I would tell you to get used to it, but, if up to this point, you already are. So, yep, gonna save this. In the next part, we're gonna be taking on Spectre. So I hope you stay tuned for that. Have a great night, folks, and take care. I am taking a nap.